tyrants both ancient and modern. Elizabeth was a tyrant, but tyrants both ancient and modern first go after religious liberty. See, because a tyrant wants to reach into that place. That's what a tyrant wants. They want not just to dominate people's bodies, if you want, they want to dominate the mind and the soul. They want to get into that most sacred place where God alone should reign, And that's why we'll find it. Look at the Soviet Union. Look at communist China. Look at any tyranny. They go after religion first,
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. The clip today is just shocking. The FBI under the Biden administration conducted surveillance operations on multiple Catholic parishes during his presidency. In other words, the government was spying on the American Catholic Church because of their presupposed and woefully errant hunch that the Catholic Church was participating with extremist groups. This is absolutely shocking. As you will see in this clip, Senator Hawley says, "I never thought that this would happen in the United States of America." It truly is a sign of the end times and the fact that there is going to be government persecution of the Christian church.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Patel, welcome. It's great to see you again. I enjoyed our conversation in my office a while back. Let me ask you this. Is it appropriate for the Federal Bureau of Investigation to attempt to recruit spies or informants into religious institutions in this country, particularly Catholic parishes? Is that appropriate?
I don't believe so, Senator.
Mr. Patel, are you familiar with the recent actions of the FBI in this regard, including this memo that I have right here, making a list of Catholic churches and parishes that they regard as potentially suspect and directing the potential recruitment of informants and other spies, let's be honest, into those parishes?
I'm familiar with that memo, Senator.
Mr. Patel, would you commit to me that you will, if you are confirmed, that you will finally and officially withdraw this memo and make it clear that this is not only unacceptable, but that it is an absolute violation of the First Amendment that every American enjoys under the Constitution of the United States?
If I'm confirmed, Senator, yes.
Will you also commit to me that you will conduct an investigation and find out who wrote this memo, who spread this memo, the field offices involved in this memo? Because I can tell you, we've had your predecessor sit right where you're sitting, and he has repeatedly lied to, there's no other word for it, lied to this committee. He told us initially that it didn't happen, that the FBI didn't make any lists of churches. That's not true. We have it. A whistleblower brought forward the list for us. He said then that only one field office had worked on it. Turns out we know from another whistleblower, multiple field offices worked on it. He said that it was never posted on the internal system. It turns out it was. We believe it's still in effect. Will you find out who was involved in this gross abuse of Americans' First Amendment rights? And will you discipline them? And if you possibly can, will you fire them, Mr. Patel, consistent with department policy and law?
Senator, you have my commitment to investigate any matters such as this one that are important to Congress. I will fully utilize, if confirmed, the investigative powers of the FBI to give you the information you require and also to hold those accountable who violated the sacred trust placed in them at the FBI.
I'm glad to hear you say that, and I'm glad you use the word sacred trust, because that's exactly what it is. The FBI is the most powerful law enforcement body in this nation, arguably the most powerful law enforcement body, at least in a free nation in the world. And to have this body corrupted politically such that it is targeting people of faith in this country and then lying about it to this committee and the American people is unimaginable. I'll be honest with you. I never thought this would happen in the United States of America. I just didn't. If you had told me 5 years ago we'd be reading memos like this, I would have said, no way, that's bad fiction. In fact, it's a horrible reality.
If you were of the world would love you as its own. Because you are not of the world, but I chose you out of the world, therefore the world hates you. Remember the word that I said to you. A servant is not greater than his master. If they persecuted me, they will also persecute you. As Christians, we are not of this world, therefore the world hates us. They hate us in the same way that they hate our Christ. We should expect persecution. We should expect that our freedom will be taken away from us. We should expect that secular governments will try to spy and coerce us. Just read the Bible. this shouldn't surprise us. We must be prepared. Christ warned us of the trials and tribulations we must face in this life, but he also offers this amazing promise that we should take heart, or in other words, we should be hopeful, because he has overcome the world. No matter what comes our way in this life, we can be certain that Christ has overcome it. Christ is the conqueror. Christ is the king. And since that is the case, that means we can have a hope. Maybe not a hope that this world is going to become some utopia, but we can have a hope that when Jesus Christ returns, that this world will be exactly how it's supposed to be, that God's will be done in heaven or it'll be done on earth as it is in heaven. Jesus wins. He has overcome the world. So even though we should expect light momentary afflictions, as the Apostle Paul talks about, we should also expect an eternal weight of glory. We should have an eternal, just an infinite desire and hopeful expectation that Jesus Christ, the conqueror, the king, the Christ, will come back and he will establish his rule on this earth so that all of these faulty governments will fade away. All right, that's all I have for this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Remember that Christianity is Christ. Without him, there is no Christianity. See you in the next one. Peace.